If you made $500,000 this year, how would that change your life? What if you did that by doing nothing at all? Just sitting in silence, no tactics, no gimmicks, no talking, just sitting here with a blank stare. And you did this and closed deal after deal to make that $500,000. That would be something, wouldn't it? Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Today, we're gonna dive into a really interesting video, so make sure and hit that subscribe button right now, and make sure and hit that like button if you like this video, right? So we're gonna be talking about how to close deals in silence. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen Wolf of Wall Street, and if you haven't, you need to go check that movie out because it is amazing, especially for closers. But there was a scene in that movie that involved the radar detectors and the Investa Center. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know. But in this scene, basically what happened was Jordan Belfort was this big time hotshot, all that good stuff, sales guy for stocks, and he sold crazy stocks at like 2% commission, right? Then he walks into this Investa Center. This Investa Center he goes in because he lost his job, Wall Street crashed, all this crazy stuff. So he has to go and sell basically penny stocks now, which is nothing. It's weird companies, all that good stuff, right? And he walks in and he figures out that it's 50% commission. So if he sells something at $6,000, he automatically gets $3,000 for it. Okay, so this really excites him because he has a lot of sales experience. And what he does next is he closes a deal with silence. Now, how he does this is very interesting because what he does is he gets on the call and basically he starts hyping it up, right? He's like, hey, how's it going, man? I've got this crazy thing that is radar detectors, right? It's a radar detector business that's got all this hype behind it, and it's got all these different features and things, and it's got a military contract and all that, right? So he starts hyping it up. Right after that, he explains how a mere $4,000 investment would get him $60,000 in return. And that is absolutely insane. And the prospect thinks it's insane as well. He's like, holy crap, that would pay off my mortgage. And he was like, it would pay off your mortgage. So he starts explaining all the upsides to this investment. Then he hits him with the question of all. He says, what I do with my clients is I don't ask them to judge me on my winners. I ask me to judge them on my losers because I have so few. So John, do you want to be a winner? And then he does not speak at all. He sits there over the phone in dead silence and lets this guy contemplate on what was just said throughout this entire call. And the guy on the phone in all this silence says, okay, this makes total sense. I can do $4,000. Will $4,000 be okay? $4,000, that'll be perfect. Let me write it up and I'm gonna have my secretary send you the paperwork. Then he hangs up the phone and he just made $2,000 in commission like that in about 5 minutes. Now, the interesting part in sales is you can do this as well, just following 3 steps that I just explained, right? The 3 steps are this: hype. You need to hype it up and be super excited about what it is that you're talking about throughout your sales call, or if you're getting into sales, get ready to hype it up. After that, you need to go into number 2. And number 2 is basically an explanation, talking about why this will benefit the person that you're selling. Really give them an explanation on how exactly it's gonna get them to where they're trying to go. And then last, you need a hammer question. And that hammer question is going to make them sit there and contemplate their entire thought process before this. And all you have to do is sit back, be silent, and let them close themselves. Now, here's exactly how I do this on my sales calls today, especially online. What I do is exactly what I told you. I hype it up, right? I get super excited about their goals, the things they're trying to accomplish, and the things that they want to do with their life, because that's a very exciting time for somebody to even be talking about that. So I hype it up, right? I give them hype. I'm like, you can definitely do this. I know you can. That's an amazing goal, all that good stuff. Then I give them an explanation, and I give them this, AKA value, right? Of how they're going to go about this process and execute on that process so they can win. And I do it 2 ways. The first way is I obviously give them the path to execute on, to do by themselves. And then I give them a sped up path with help, coaching, all that good stuff. And that helps a lot. And after that, I ask them the hammer question. And that hammer question is this: the true question is not whether you're going to be able to succeed and do this, because you will no matter what. The true question is, are you going to succeed 6 months to a year from now like you've been trying to do your whole life, or are you going to do it with help right now and change your life today? And then I sit there with a blank stare, and it has closed so many deals for me. It is unreal. I have made thousands and thousands of dollars using this tactic, and I know you can too. So make sure, if you want to close deals in silence, all that good stuff, follow this framework, and I promise you, you will make $500,000 if you do it right.